Hey, do you remember that movie that David Arquette made about wrestling? Yeah, neither does anyone else.
Let's go to the movies and see a show. We'll get some popcorn. Don't you wanna go? Yeah! Let's go to the movies and take some friends. Never leave early. We'll watch it till the end.
Welcome to CineCrap, the show where we watch bad movies and drag you along with us. Today, guys, we are celebrating, well, the fact that we're going to be at StarCast this weekend. If you haven't checked that out, starcast.com, STARRCAST.com. It is a huge wrestling convention tied in with All In Weekend in Chicago, Illinois. So today, we figured we would feature a movie with one of the special guests for StarCast. Joining me on the other end of the telephone is Brody.
What up?
Boy, aren't you excited?
I watched this movie last night, even though we're about to watch it right now.
You poor pathetic soul.
Yeah, and I asked my wife if she wanted to watch it, and she's like, "What do you watch a movie?" And she's like, "What do you watch?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm going to watch Ready to Rumble." and I said, on second thought, no, don't. And this is now the second time I've watched it in less than 24 hours, and that's two more times I've watched it since it came out theatrically. How many ever years ago it was?
2000.
Yeah.
Well, the movie is Ready to Rumble, if you haven't figured that out. And the guest at StarCast is David Arquette. And while we're recording this show, like 2 minutes before we went on the air, I find out that we have an interview that's going on the site tomorrow.
Ooh. With who?
With somebody in this movie.
With David Arquette?
No. I'm hoping that happens at StarCast. We don't know who we're interviewing at the event yet.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a special episode of this Tuesday at SNS. And I will tell you who it is when we see him in the movie.
Okay.
Because I'm excited to announce that.
There is one thing I wanted to point out. I forget at one point in the movie as well, a little factoid that I learned, or not learned, but remembered while watching the movie that I want to bring up. I know you're a big wrestling fan, and I used to be as well, so I got to remind myself too. But sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, I feel like you are going to be very, very excited about the interview tomorrow. It's a and I'll tell you this much: it's a former world heavyweight champion. Okay, so now we got that out of. Talk about that in a minute. We have to get all the, we gotta shill. Guys, if you want an awesome t-shirt for just $13, visit ShopTBK, tbkmagazine.com/ShopTBK, and pick up our Nutsy Random Evolve t-shirts. By the way, have you seen this?
I saw that shirt. I gotta have one. You know what? It's funny. As a contributor to the website, I don't have any TBK clothing. How sad is that?
Do you want to know something funny?
What's
Neither
that?
did I till 2 weeks ago.
And you're the creator. You're responsible for all this, so I don't feel so bad anymore.
No, I did 2 weeks ago. We got these. They offered me, our shirt designer offered me a brand new shirt. Like, hey, this is an economy shirt, but it's really soft. And I went, all right, I'll look at it. And my God, man, it is so comfortable. It is so comfortable.
So, sometimes there are two things in life I look forward to most: is taking my shoes off after a long day at work and putting on the most comfortable pillow t-shirt ever.
It is. I mean, it's not the most. It's not the most pillowy shirt you've ever had. But I mean, honestly, for $8.95 that we're getting it. By the way, that tells you how much markup I'm doing. $13. $13, everybody. But if that tells you how nice the shirts are, yeah. So, and if you use the code ALLIN at checkout, you can get free shipping. So I'm just killing all my profit.
Damn, that deal's so good. It makes me want to take it back behind the middle school and get it pregnant.
Oh my God. I don't even know what to say to that. So speaking of hanging things on coat hangers, we are going to... Welcome to CineCrap, everybody. We've got some, but no, that Nutsy shirt, all the 50% of the proceeds go to Alzheimer's.org. And if you haven't checked it out, the one that's up right now has the Chicago flag for the squirrel.
Ooh, I might actually have to order that for myself.
Yeah, I love that shirt, man. I freaking love that shirt. And also, hey, are you a fan of wine?
I love a good glass of Pinot every now and then.
Visit knockingpointwines.com and use the code TBK at checkout and get $20 off a wine box delivered to your door. You don't even have to leave the house or put on pants, which is exactly what I'm doing on this episode today.
It's great because I never like to put on pants.
Yeah, you can go ahead and guess that since you're not in the room with me and we're doing this via telephone, I'm not wearing pants. Screw that nonsense. All right. It's going to be one of those shows, isn't it? It's going to be one of those shows, isn't it? I'm going to take a picture and be like my office today, and it's got my computer screen and the television behind it. So
you should see what I'm working with. I just came from Wizard World this past weekend, and I've got, like, I'm sitting in my bedroom right now, and there are comic books everywhere. Everywhere.
Did you? But okay, so guys, let's go. Before we got a little bit of things we'll talk while you guys are loading the movie. Here's where you can find the movie. You can rent it on Amazon for like $2, which isn't bad.
No.
Vudu has it. A couple other sites have it. You can get it on iTunes. You could just do it with your Fire Stick, because I know 90% of you listening have a jailbroke Fire Stick. I'm not going to tell you how we were watching this movie for the fear of being
arrested. I can
arrested.
neither confirm or deny that the way we are watching it is not going to be profitable for the studio at all.
I don't think this movie was profitable for the studio at all.
Ah, touche, my friend. Touche.
So while you guys are getting that queued up, what'd you end up with from Wizard World?
I got so much cool stuff. I bought more comics than I've ever bought or ever gotten. Sorry, my broken English is.
Do you realize half of the staff lives in Arkansas?
I got so many comics. Like, my big obsession right now is Green Lantern, so I bought like
nice
20 Green Lantern books.
Jeez.
Yeah. Well, they have like these booths where you get like 5 trades for $20.
Man, let me tell you something. If you go for variant covers, those are where the money is right now.
You see, I went with a friend of mine, and he likes to buy the single issues because he likes to collect. I like to buy the trades because
it's
I
easier
like to
read. Yeah, it's easier to read that way.
So I made out with like 13, I think, Green Lantern books. I bought a couple Batman books. Me and my wife got this gigantic pop vinyl Porg for like, an insane amount of money. But fuck it, it's con.
I got something I need to tell you before we get started with this, and the tournament that's going on right now.
What's that?
We are at the Final Four.
Who are the Final Four? I haven't. This weekend's been real busy, so I haven't been able to keep up with a lot of it.
So what happened was our voting system went down like a couple hours after voting went live.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to add an extra day.
Okay.
Voting is now completed. The semifinals start later today, or while this is up, I think they start before.
Okay. Here
are the Final Four from the DC side, because I don't know what your pick was for the Final Four, but I know you're not going to be. I know 2 of them didn't make it.
Okay.
From the DC side, it's Batman, of course. I mean,
of course,
and Aquaman.
Aquaman, really?
Aquaman beat Wonder Woman. Yeah,
that's insane. Well,
he also beats Superman. Aquaman's on a run right now.
Oh God. Oh man. If Aquaman beats out Batman, then I think I'm going to turn in my nerd card.
Well, we did it by the way, we did this on the show, and it ended up our finals was Wonder Woman and Spider-Man. So when we filled out our bracket on live.
Mm-hmm. Wait, say that one more time. I'm sorry.
Our finals on live was Wonder Woman and Spider-Man.
Okay.
So, but on the Marvel side, Deadpool.
Of course.
Deadpool barely beat Wolverine. It was 42-58. Or no.
Man,
48-52. There we go.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was close.
Okay.
And maybe the biggest upset of the entire tournament.
If you're about to tell me Squirrel Girl won.
No, Squirrel Girl lost in the first round to Phoenix. No, the biggest upset of the tournament, Spider-Man has been eliminated by Captain America.
Yes! 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 1,000 times yes! Oh, happy day! I am sporting some wood right now.
Oh, God. It wasn't even close. It was 66-33 or 66.
You see, I would have for sure given it to Spidey just because I feel like Spidey is more the fan favorite or like just a favorite in general, like you throw a stone in the air and you could hit 10 Spider-Man.
Well, that's what I was
fans. Or at least-
saying. I feel like Spider-Man is Marvel's Batman to that point, and I went, holy crap, our finals for Marvel's Captain America and Deadpool?
Oh my God. You know what though? I mean, man, that's fucking awesome. I'm just as a fan, I'm excited because that means.
So the finals could, honest to God, be Aquaman and Deadpool.
I guarantee you the finals will end up being Deadpool and Batman. That's what I'm staking my money on.
That's what I said. That's what I said when the tournament started. But I had nowhere near. Like I had Superman and Wonder Woman battling it out for the final, like to get to that semifinal matchup.
Absolutely, that's crazy. Like when you were showing me the lineups and I looked at it, I'm like, wow. Like now, what you're telling me, not at all the way I would have predicted.
Oh no! And the next tournament we're doing is around Halloween, and it is going to be a horror movie tournament.
Oh my God! You're singing my song. You're singing my song. I love me some horror movies.
Singing the song of your people. Ooh, all right. Are you ready to watch this movie? I feel like they've had enough time now to digest and find it and pause it.
I have just finished putting some Baileys in my coffee, so I am in the right mindset to get this
to let you
watch
know
this movie.
It is we are recording this in the Central Time Zone. You're in the Central Time Zone, right?
Yes.
Oh, by the way, this makes sense. You're in Chicago. Hey, I'll be there this week. I've already had 2 shots of Kraken, so we are at 12:15 in the morning. So woo-hoo.
I have a what is this? A 32-ounce cup of coffee, 10 ounces of which is coffee, and the remaining 22 is Bailey's. So I'm right there with you.
Creamer or liquor?
Oh, liquor.
Okay, liquor. I hardly know her. All right, let's do this. Let's
zing.
All right. We're gonna count this down. Everybody in 3, 2, 1, play. Oh Lord.
Watching this Warner Brothers logo, so many classic movies come to mind.
Did you know this was a Warner Brothers movie, by the way? Because I didn't until I watched it last night.
I didn't either. But every time I see that Warner Brothers logo, I expect it to go green and Matrixy because that's what I associate with most. But then I realize I'm watching Ready to Rumble, so nothing cool like that's going to happen.
I thought I didn't have the sound on at all, and then all of a sudden it's like, sound! So we were first getting pictures of wrestling. I mean, how sweet is this?
I was so obsessed with this movie when I was a kid. Like I was a big wrestling fan.
Okay, if you're a wrestling fan, you're going to enjoy this movie.
I haven't been in recent years, I'm not going to lie, but back in the day, there was nobody who was more hardcore fan of wrestling than I am. Like I was playing like WWF No Mercy, WCW,
the best wrestling game
NWO
ever.
Revenge. Like I had all the video games. Like I was definitely more a WWE kid, but I sure as shit loved me some WCW.
No Mercy is the best wrestling game ever created.
Hands down. So like watching a lot of these wrestlers flash across the screen, like seeing like Superfly and Goldberg. Goldberg was my shit. I love Goldberg.
Oh, speaking of which, they're actually doing a N64 WWE No Mercy tournament at StarCast.
Oh God!
And the winning prize is like $150. I don't think I could do it anymore. I think I would suck.
Oh, I would. I mean, when was the last time you sat down and played the game? Now here, this part right here. This
is you.
This part right here. Like when you first see Jimmy King, and I forgot that was even his name. Like when I sat down to watch this last night, I had like totally forgotten what the movie was about. I just knew that it was like a 2-hour WCW commercial. So like I had forgotten the plot, and I forgot what the actors' names were. I knew that David Arquette was in the movie.
Well, that's all you remember from this movie is David Arquette.
And Jimmy King, little fun factoid, Jimmy King was in another great 90s B horror movie called Lake Placid. If you remember that
Oliver
movie.
Platte. God rest his soul, because I think he's passed away now. But he was an amazing actor. And if I'm wrong,
he really was.
That's going to sound terrible.
And this movie, like this scene, like I used to think, and coming up here in a few minutes, I know I'm jumping the gun, but when Gordy goes back into the store and has his quote unquote fantasy moment, like when I first saw that, like I got so excited because I'm like, how many times have I had that dream?
Oh,
myself?
As a wrestling fan, I can tell you that, and I'm going to make fun of myself throughout this entire movie. I don't even care. When I was a kid, I used to have this giant log that I would wrestle outside, and pretend that it's this scene, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
I was 12-year-old David Arquette's character here.
I love how he calls him a boob. Like, if you would have made this movie now,
boob.
like, if you would have made this movie now, it would have been like, "What's up, dickhead," or something like that.
You're a twat stick.
Or this movie is so like, it's so not. What's the word? It's not quaint.
It's cheesy, but great.
It's very cheesy and it's very of its time. Like, that is the first thing I noticed while watching this movie. It's very, very, very dated. And it's funny because you see in the background right there, that's a Macho Man cutout, right?
Yeah, and with his valet at the time, Gorgeous George. By the way, I love this as a wrestling ring. Let's point that out.
This reminds me of like some of the cool theme matches they used to do, like the Buried Alive matches, or
it's a match at a grocery. It's a match in a convenience store.
In a convenience store Royal Rumble or whatever.
Gordy needs to tag in Dante.
Oh my God! I'm not even supposed to be here today.
I mean, Oliver Platte kind of has like a chubby Dante thing going on, so I'm okay with it.
He's definitely like what would have happened if, like Clerks 3 takes place like 30 years later, or like when Dante's an old man.
Yeah. By the way, Jimmy King does not look like your typical wrestling star. What the hell?
That's what I was like. You're gonna put him like, and you're gonna see later in this movie when he's going at it with like DDP and Goldberg, or like how he's wrestling Macho Man now. Like, you can clearly tell the actors between the wrestlers.
Hello, Nitro
and what's
Girls.
funny,
one of those I do believe is Shawn Michaels' wife.
Oh, man,
Let that sink in.
One of my all-time favorite wrestling matches ever in the history is the WrestleMania 14 main event between Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold Steve Austin, when Stone Cold took the belt and ushered in like I think that was like the start of the Attitude Era, or like right around there.
This is surreal talking about this like all week long, guys. We're doing wrestling stuff because, StarCast. And by the way, he's scratching his ass. Like,
this is a broke ass stink palm. Mallrats ripoff. Mallrats ripoff.
No joke. Except he doesn't shake his hand. He just hasn't sniffed the thing. It's terrible.
How do you think Courtney Cox felt whenever she had to sniff his ass?
I don't know. They did get a divorce, so.
Do
you know this guy is?
Now you know why.
Have you kept up with David Arquette recently?
The last thing, no. Short answer, no. Long answer, the last thing that I ever saw him in, I'm thinking like 5 or so years back. He did. I don't know if he directed it. I think he might have directed it. He at least starred in this movie called The Tripper, which was an offbeat B movie. You got to do this for CineCrap somewhere down the line, about Ronald Reagan as a serial killer.
I remember this movie.
He was in that movie, and I think he might have directed it. I don't want to say that for certain.
But I'll one up this. Guess what this guy's doing now?
What's he doing now?
He is wrestling again. He got back in the ring and trained, and he is wrestling on the Independents again.
Do you remember, and that was the one thing I was talking about at the top of the show that I wanted to bring back up. Do you remember when this movie came out and like he came in and wrestled like an actual WCW event? I forget who
he
it
was. The world champion for a week.
He was, wasn't he?
Yeah, he won. It was him and DDP versus Eric Bischoff and Jeff Jarrett on an episode of Thunder. Why do I still know this? On an episode of Thunder, and David Arquette right before Slamboree 2000, Slamboree 2000, and David Arquette walked away with the World Heavyweight Championship.
DDP was always got saddled with
the celebrities.
The celebrities.
Constantly.
Like, I remember him tag team with Jay Leno. Do you remember that?
Not just that, Karl Malone.
Yes, and he fought Dennis Rodman and
Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, oh my God. I fucking miss WCW. Like, WWE was like good, but WCW was so over the top.
I will add something else. DDP is also at StarCast. Guys, I'm telling you, everybody in this movie is going to be there in Chicago next week at the Hyatt Regency.
Oh, man.
So, funny thing is, we're synced up perfectly because I just turned up my sound and heard yours in the background, too.
Nice.
That's the first time I've done this on phone that it's worked out that perfectly.
I don't...
What happened to this other guy, by the way? What's he doing?
The sheriff?
No, not the sheriff. The friend. What the hell is
Scott Conn?
Yeah, what the hell did that guy do?
He's, I don't know if it's still on the air, But do you remember how CBS did the reboot for Hawaii Five-0?
Oh, is he on that?
He was on that.
Oh my
I
God,
think that's
he
the
is
most
still
recent
on
thing
that.
he's done, and he looks the same. I mean, he looks a little bit more beefed out, but he looks the same.
Well, he said his prayers and took his vitamins. Of course, he looked beefed out. I mean, come
Oh
on,
man.
this movie. So their job is, aren't they like shits people? Like they just clean.
They
toilets?
do like the porta potties. They take the shit out of the porta potties. Which there's something coming up in the next few minutes here. Maybe not in the next few minutes or soon. Something that I noticed that I'd never noticed before, and it just made me laugh. And it's just this little detail. Like the broad humor in this movie, let's be honest with you, kind of does not hold up very well.
You know what?
But
you're right. But the movie itself as a whole kind of does.
It's a decently put together movie. Like it's like I've seen, you guys are probably going to do some movies for CineCrap that are just like really not only like ooh campy stupid, but like really shittily put together.
We're looking
This
at you, Dickie Roberts, former child star.
Ugh. Or you could do that one Bucky Larson.
Yes. Looking at you.
But like this is a good looking movie, and the script is whatever. It's very 90s and it's dated, but some of the best movies are dated. Like Clerks, you couldn't make that movie now. It's still a classic.
I've got fun facts about this movie. Scott Conn did all of his own stunts.
Did he?
Yeah, that's what. Yeah. How crazy is that?
Oh man! So this scene about to come.
He did it all his own stunts.
This is like when I watched this last night in prep for today. I only laughed 3 times, like actually out loud laughed.
I made Ashley watch this movie because I went, okay, so I feel like if we're gonna cover wrestling at times, I feel like you need to see this movie. And I saw her laugh at that more than I ever did. So
this coming up this exactly right here is the one of the 3 times, and I'll point out the other 2 later. This made me laugh so fucking hard.
This is why me and you will never work together in person.
Oh my god!
Because this is what would happen. I feel.
I'm sorry. That just makes me fucking laugh. And no matter how old I get, toilet humor will never go out of style.
That's the only joke. And I will say this. I don't care for some sex jokes now. I feel they're over the top sometimes. But
yeah,
the toilet jokes, yeah, I'm still that 14-year-old that's like...
Poop humor will always be classic, no matter how old you get.
No matter what. Yeah, if a fart happens, yeah. No, it's always a good time. And a suplex!
Oof.
I don't know if I would eat at this place or not.
What is this place?
Their burger place that they have, their local burger place.
Oh, he's like, can I have Brittany's taco with cheese all over? That means she's got a yeast infection. You should not do that. That's a yeast infection, my friend.
I like the other girl, by the way.
The one he ends up with?
Yeah. The spoiler alert.
Spoiler, man.
I mean,
I was watching this last night, and I obviously didn't say this to my wife, and probably will not be having her listen to this episode. Even back then when I saw this movie back then, I liked her more than I liked the blonde one.
I did too.
She seemed like the kind of person that I would like want to be with.
Yeah, no, you're right. I enjoyed her more than any of the other females, and that's including Rose McGowan's character, who I don't care for at all in this movie.
Yeah, I not really have ever been a big Rose McGowan fan. So when I saw her show up in this, I'm like, oh, she's got long hair. That's about the only thing I know. She's just.
I like her and I don't. It's a weird love-hate relationship.
There are some movies that I like her in. Like I liked her in that Grindhouse movie that Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez did.
I love her on Charmed.
Never watched Charmed.
There we go. Apparently,
this right here. This is what I wanted. One of the small details. When a camera cuts back to Gordy, you see the shit dripping from the pipe right there. You see that?
I wouldn't eat off that truck to save my nuts.
They're sitting there right now eating these burgers. And look at that. That is literal shit dripping out of the pipe. That is poop. They're sitting next.
Doesn't
to
that look like a Wendy's Frosty? We're now
It
never
does.
getting Wendy's as a sponsor. What would King do? The character of Jimmy King was based upon Jerry the King Lawler.
Was it?
Yeah.
Well, it definitely. Now I did not know that, but now looking back on it, because he does seem built kind of like Lawler was. At least not more towards the latter years, not necessarily the earlier years.
I take that back. That looks more like a frozen Coke.
I just that made the. I don't know why I fixated on that. Maybe because it's just poop humor.
And that burger is so close.
It's right there. Like, oh God.
Where are their fries? By the way, where are their fries sitting? Hi, kids. I love the old lady.
That's the old woman from The Wedding Singer.
It is. I love her in this movie.
Oh, towards the end, I don't want to try and spoil it, but when at the very end, like in the last act of the movie, when they go back to the pay-per-view and you cut to the shots of her, that's so awesome.
I know a lot of people like that. Oh God. So did your parents ever keep you from wanting to do your dream job?
No. My parents never really kept me from anything like this. That I could never identify with this aspect of it. Like this just seemed a little too much to me.
This
like,
this is a Super Troopers joke. This is something you would see in Super Troopers.
Have you seen the second one yet?
I love the second one.
So good. Cream fish.
I went to see that in the theater. It was one of the only few movies I've been to this year because I was like, I have to see this in person.
It didn't come around to us in the theaters. We had to buy it on Vudu when it came out.
Hey, it's a Rey Mysterio without a mask.
That is. I thought, like, I'm watching this last night, and I'm like, that guy looks familiar.
Who you can also meet at StarCast. Go.
I remember seeing him without his mask for the first time, and I'm like, I remember that being like a huge deal. Like they really like punched that up on whatever the storyline they were doing that week was.
That's a really small arena.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I've
out.
never been to a wrestling event, but I kind of gather from like the telecast. Oh, Billy the Kidman.
Billy the Kidman. It is Billy. Billy the Kidman. We're just gonna let that go. Screw it. That's a T-shirt waiting to happen. Billy the Kidman.
Oh, I got that wrong, didn't I?
It is Billy Kidman, but I'll allow it.
Billy the Kidman.
Billy the Kidman. Billy the Kid, man. Oh, the Nitro Girls. So I remember watching Nitro as a kid, and that was one of my favorite segments.
Oh, Rose McGowan.
She hated making this movie, by the way. That is on my list of things.
Yeah, I mean, knowing who she is now as the spearhead of the #MeToo movement, watching this, I felt uncomfortable the whole time. Oh, Joey Pants.
Hey, Booker T.
DDP. Goldberg. Oh, Goldberg was my favorite WCW wrestler. Like, I remember when he went on that undefeated streak for 365 days or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was a long streak. Goldberg was a household. Like, he became a household name overnight.
He did. Like, he was instantaneously a household name. And then I remember watching the pay-per-view, or I don't remember if it was a pay-per-view or if it was just a Monday Night Nitro match, where he finally lost.
That was a pay-per-view, actually.
Was it?
Yep.
I can't remember because it was so long ago, but I remember watching that and being so fucking crestfallen that I stopped watching WCW after that. Like, I just walked away because...
I can't blame you.
Oh, that was so... Like, and I know that it's fake. I know it's all predetermined and everything, but that still broke my fucking heart.
I'm going to say this. Honestly, in the grand scheme of things, is there a better form of entertainment in a way? Because it really is Shakespeare. More lowbrow Shakespeare.
Oh, there she is.
Yes. Leather Granny.
Oh, Bam Bam Bigelow.
Sid. By the way, my favorite WCW wrestler at this time is who we're interviewing. Oh.
Have we met him yet?
Not yet. I don't know if he's in this movie or not. I think he is. I'm about 90% sure he is.
It's not Perry Saturn, is it?
No. I said former world Perry's.
This guy doesn't even look like a wrestler. Like, I love Oliver Platte. I really do.
He looks like someone who works at medieval times.
Yeah. He like he just wandered onto the wrong set one day and like, oh, okay, good, let's shoot.
I missed the wrong job. Crap. Where are the horses?
One little trivia, or not, I don't want to say trivia, but personal trivia. I always liked the way the WCW Championship belt looked versus the WWE belt.
Okay, so this is also another fun thing. At StarCast, you can hold the original big gold belt.
I love the way that belt looks. The WDE belt was cool. Was that a
Kurt Hennig and Conan?
Yes.
Conan also at StarCast. My God, how many people is in this movie? It's going to be at StarCast now that I see it. But yeah, that belt's gorgeous. Like when I think champion, that's what I think of.
Yeah, the belt nowadays. I mean, obviously WCW is no more.
The belt nowadays looks like a giant Justin's ring.
It does. It's just. Ugh.
Oh my God. He really does. I feel like in just 2 minutes, we're going to have like the Black Knight come out and challenge the Yellow Knight to a fight. And we're going to be eating chicken with our hands. Speaking of which, Medieval Times on Sunday. Join us.
And when they finally get to the wrestling action, okay, Oliver Platte rapping.
Because that's what I wanted to hear in my lifetime.
We were walking around Wizard World this year, and like right when we got there, the first day, I started singing one of the Rock's favorite, like when the Rock would do the songs. Oh, because my wife pointed out she saw a Rock vinyl pop that we were gonna get, but we passed on for whatever reason. So I started singing "Since Rock's Baby Left Him,"
jeez.
and I just like really loudly. She got so embarrassed. So like that. The music aspect.
You finally did it. You finally embarrassed her in public.
I embarrass her every time we walk out the door. Let's be honest.
I'm probably going to do that to Ashley all weekend long. Like I know that I'm going to be like that 15-year-old. Like, hi.
Look at this guy, Joey Pantoliano. I think I probably just butchered his last name.
His character.
He's trying so hard to channel Eric Bischoff right now.
No shit. Then that's actually in the
so
thing.
badly.
Titus Sinclair. No, it's Eric Bischoff. You know that's Eric Bischoff.
He looks almost like if you would have just cut his hair a little bit and took the hat off, for sure. Sure.
Bischoff lives in Wyoming or Montana, like lives in the area where this episode was taped. Putting that in quotes, because I was like, yeah, if Bischoff were to dress himself possibly all the time, it would be this guy.
You know, one thing I always, as a wrestling fan back in the day, I noticed I used to be a fan of DDP.
I love DDP.
I always used to think that the diamond cutter is just a cheaper version of the stunner. It looks just like the stunner, except it looks like a hybrid. Like you take the Stone Cold Stunner, you turn it more into like a front-facing DDT, and you just drop them. That's what it looked like to me. Wow, man, I haven't nerded out about wrestling in ages.
Welcome to my world,
right there.
Welcome to my world all week long.
Holy moly!
If Oliver Platte, I don't know if Oliver Platte's still alive. I don't think he is, but I didn't see a memorial thing, so I'm not 100% sure. But if he's still alive, please get him for StarCast. I want to meet Jimmy King.
Jimmy King! Oliver Platte is still alive.
Oh, I did not know this. Well, I felt like an asshole.
He looks old as fuck, but he
still looks the same.
He's still alive.
Speaking of this, so there was a sign at one of the WWE shows this year, and a fan was holding it up that says Jimmy King for the Hall of Fame, and I'm like, yes, make that happen.
You know what this movie is like? This movie is so bad, and it is very bad, as we are about to see. It's like a cult movie, not unlike Super Mario Brothers, the movie. Like that movie is awful from top to bottom.
That movie's even hard to make fun of. That movie's so bad, it's hard to make. And through a table goes Oliver Platte. Hey, Tony Schiavone's also going to be at StarCast. There's a reason I picked
Tony Schiavone.
There's a reason I picked this movie, and it's because I can go, hey, look, I can get StarCast plugs in all night long.
Now, does Oliver Platte do his? Like, he can't possibly be doing his own.
I don't think he's doing his own stunts.
Who do you think they got to do his stunts for him? Like a professional wrestler or just a stunt guy?
The guy from Medieval Times.
Yeah, that works.
Because I mean, have you?
Oh,
so you do realize that the reason I'm also talking about that so much is that Ashley and I bought tickets for Medieval Times.
I've never been to Medieval Times.
You live in a town with one.
I know. Sad as that. Oh, goddamn.
right in the baby makers.
You know it's fake, but damn, they sell it well.
I don't know.
Still gotta hurt.
I will say this: getting hit with a chop. It looks like the most awful thing in the world.
Who is this muscle-bound dude in the red leotard and the black snow hat in the back? I couldn't figure that one out.
I did not see who it was. If you tell me...
That guy right there.
Van Hammer.
That's Van Hammer. Okay, I couldn't figure that out.
He didn't have much of a career. Is my guy in this movie? Because now I'm thinking he may not be. I'm going to feel dumb about it if I say this and he's not in this. Oh, here comes everyone else now. I'm actually looking this up so that way I don't feel stupid if he doesn't show up. And then I'm like, oh, I've just held that out the whole show.
Isn't Perry Saturn dead?
No.
No?
That was a big rumor going around for a long time now. Like everyone thought he was. Like, oh, where's he been? Oh, he's probably dead.
Because it was him, it was Dean Malenko, it was Benoit, and who was the fourth horseman?
Flair.
That's right. That's right.
I mean, yeah, Flair.
The most important one.
The most important
one I don't remember.
Which is actually the how that was announced too.
Let me ask you a question.
It's still real to me, damn it. Go ahead.
Because we saw a Sting cosplay, like the wrestler Sting, not
the singer.
Yeah,
that would be the worst cosplay ever. By the way, the worst cosplay ever.
Oh God! And he is the classic black and white NWO whatever Sting.
Yeah.
Do you prefer the black and white makeup Sting or the red and black makeup Sting?
I actually prefer Surfer Sting. The one before, the one before black and white Sting.
I don't know if I know that one.
Yeah, that's probably more my era, but no, if I'm going to pick one, I'm picking black and white Sting.
Okay.
There's also a time where he did Joker Sting, and that's pretty freaking awesome. We are synced up perfect, by the way.
Now, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
In terms of like technical aspects of wrestling, because I've been out of it for a while. Doesn't DDP have to lift his leg to get the 3 count to be a pin?
No.
I thought you had to like lift the leg. No, you just got to be on top of him?
Yeah, you just got to be on top with both shoulders up. That's pretty much it. So no, the guy we're interviewing is not in this movie.
So can you say who you're interviewing?
I think, is it time? I'll do it after Titus Sinclair gets done with his promo. By the way, I don't think that's the real WCW belt because that thing looks silver.
It's silver. Like in some shots, like when we go see it later in the movie in the final fight or whatever, it looks gold. But here it just looks like it looks
silver.
like something you'd buy at a prop shop.
Because the top of the actual gold belt is bent. Fun fact. And that's why I was like, I don't think that's the real one. I'm kind of surprised they didn't use the real one because they own the damn thing.
This guy in the purple trunks in the back here, that's not Val Venus, is it?
No.
Okay. I miss Val Venus.
That dude.
Oh my God.
That dude went off his rocker.
Oh man. Another one of my all-time my favorite wrestler of all time, no joke, is The Rock. I mean, that's
all like okay, when you associate wrestling, I feel there are a couple of names that come to mind and he's one of them.
One of my favorite, all of my favorite matches, save for the Austin and Michaels WrestleMania main event, stem from him. Like one of the funniest is when British Bulldog came back for a spell. I can already tell where this is going. He rock bottomed him on the dog poop. Yes. Oh God! And he didn't just do. No, he did the people's elbow.
Yep.
Too.
And Michael Cole is screaming in the dog poop, in the dog poop.
And he's instead of like because when Rock does the people's elbow, he kind of runs, but he slid. Like he just slid over to him and then did the elbow, and that was the coolest thing I had ever seen.
Talk about a shitty situation here.
Womp womp. Yeah.
I've got it. There was supposed to be a sequel for this movie, but it never happened. Mostly because WCW went out of business. But
I was gonna say because this movie is basically a 2-hour commercial to get them, publicity or money or whatever.
Oh wow!
It didn't really do well.
Here's one. This is a kind of a cool one. Around the time of the movie's release, David Arquette appeared for WCW. We know that. We talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of spending the money he made from WCW, he gave all his WCW earnings to the family of deceased wrestler Brian Pillman.
Who was Brian Pillman?
He passed away in 90. He was in the WWF for 96, 97 and WCW like in the early 90s.
That name sounds so familiar.
He was with
Did he go by Pillman?
Yeah, he was with the Hart family right before Austin became big.
Okay.
But that's kind of one of those things where he passed away, and
this is the kind of humor that feels it's funny.
This is the type of shit I would write. This is the type of shit I would write still to this day.
And I love when the car crashes, you hear like fireworks going off. You clearly audibly hear the fireworks.
By
you
the
hear
way, that? True. What are the odds, by the way, of a toilet paper truck hitting a shit truck?
And then this right here, the punctuation. Or no, did I miss it? I missed it already, didn't I? Yeah, I missed it.
Where they're
when they all
out.
get hosed with the shit as it gets hit. Okay, I missed that.
Yeah, you missed the crap flying. Oh my god.
And how are they clean? Like, those two guys look awfully clean for two dudes who just got hit with like pounds of shit.
They had extra clothes. Is he wearing short pants?
He is wearing short pants.
Did you ever have a pair of shorts like this?
Of course I did.
Okay, so I'll one up your embarrassment. I had a pair of orange ones. And I had an orange Survivor t-shirt because that's when Survivor was a thing. And I decided to wear both at the same time. I looked like a fucking traffic cone.
You know, quick little aside. I thought about signing up for the WWE network.
Yes.
Just because I want to like relive some of those classic matches.
There. All of it's there.
Like I want to see the moment like Austin turns heel, and everyone like when him and Rock fight. I think it was like WrestleMania 17.
Yep.
And Austin sided with McMahon, and everyone collectively lost their shit. Or like I want to see like there was a WCW match. There's
a lot of WCW matches.
I used to love the WCW matches too. Like I liked Raven a lot. Raven was
holy
one of
crap!
my guys.
There's a day. Speaking of which, at Starcast, continue on.
Damn. Raven, I liked. Oh God, I'm blanking on the names. It's been so long. I haven't nerded out about wrestling. Like
this is kind of one of those weird. This is one of those weird things where I was like, this movie's appropriate right now in my life, and I was like, I kind of want to watch it this week just so I don't have to do real work.
You know what I kind of want to watch after we watch this?
Oh God,
I kind of want to watch that documentary. What was that one? Beyond the Mat.
Oh God, I'm actually trying to talk. Okay, so there's a video series called Being the Elite. They're the ones that are putting on All In at the Sears Center. They spoofed the scene in Beyond the Mat where it's Terry Funk and Dennis Stamp, and Dennis Stamp's not booked, and he's jumping on the trampoline in his underwear and doing the workout. They spoofed that whole thing. And it is so funny because they even do it verbatim. Like when Matt Jackson's walking away, he even stumbles like Terry Funk. It is fantastic. This
gag right here.
Isn't this from Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back kind of too? Because
this is kind of like this is like kind of like a hybrid of when Carrie Fisher picks him up and she's the nun and Jay tries to go down on her.
Yeah.
And then there's like, when they go in the van with all the girls and it's what's her face from the American Pie movies?
Shannon Elizabeth.
Yes, Shannon Elizabeth, Allie Larder, and Kevin Smith's wife.
And the other one, Eliza Dushku.
Yes.
Who I have a major crush on. That's an unhealthy crush.
I used to like when she was. What show was she on?
True Calling.
Not Charmed or True Calling. True Calling. Yeah.
I had a crush on her because of The New Guy.
Yes, I remember that movie.
By the way, that movie's coming to CineCrap. I'm just letting everyone know that now. I
identified that movie so much. Like this bit right here didn't really do
Running
anything
with the
for me.
Devil.
I'm like,
seriously, the nun singing "Running with the Devil" didn't get it to you?
It was good. Like honestly, like watching the scene, I didn't laugh. Like the lighter bit was funny. Like that made me chuckle a little bit. But the takeaway from this scene it's like, man, I'd really like to hear them do the full version of that song because I really was kind of grooving to it a little bit.
We are now in Atlanta as they're going to try to find Jimmy King and the home of WCW.
This part coming up here, when they get out and they
meet Sherman.
Sherman. Poor Sherman.
I don't know his name in this movie, but yeah, Sherman. Oh, the giant Surge can in the background brings back memories. Shit.
Oh, Surge. Oh, they had a bunch of Surge at Con this weekend, too.
Yeah, that's a thing again. It's not as good as it was. We actually had that in a vending machine when I was going to high school. It was the greatest thing ever because I would drink a Surge every day after PE.
That's how I was with Jolt Cola.
Oh, God, Jolt. They did not allow Jolt in Missouri. Just to let
this
you know.
Is the cheapest looking video game I've ever seen ever. Like, they put no effort into it.
Have you seen some of the WCW games at this time?
Those still looked better. Like, if you took, like, say, WCW Mayhem, I think, was one that was out at the time this movie came around.
That one, it kind of looks like that. It honestly looks like Thunder.
Oh, God. That doesn't even look like Jimmy King.
It's a very skinny version of Jimmy King. Oh, God. Later on, kid, you're going to get to have the time of your life in the American Pie series.
Oh, man. He really went nowhere.
I was going to say, he just kind of played the same character in every movie he's been in.
Typecasting.
I mean, he's always like a nerdy kid, and that's it. Can't believe I'm watching Ready to Rumble. Happy Monday, everybody.
Yeah. Oh, man. Classic iMac.
Look at that thing. Why is Jimmy King butt humping DDP? That is not a DDP yoga pose.
No, it is not. No, it is not.
Oh, God.
This too. This made me cringe a little bit. Like,
it makes
this
me
gag
giggle,
coming out
though.
with him.
It does make me giggle a little bit, though. Look at that.
It is.
Look at that hacker website. Good God. If that isn't something from GeoCities, I don't know what is.
Wow.
Outdated references throughout this entire movie, everybody. Enjoy.
GeoCities. I remember back in the day. Like it's a chuckle, but this is so like oof. It made me cringe a little bit, I'm not gonna lie.
So I was that kid in high school.
I had that same Discman.
Oh, I did too. I also probably had that CD.
Oh, I did. I remember my parents went shopping at Kmart for whatever reason, and they let me buy 2 CDs.
That was one of the ones you bought.
I bought Britney Spears' Baby One More Time and Limp Bizkit's Significant Other.
One of these things is not like the other. Caroline Ray. One of my favorite stand-up comics ever.
Little factotum. She was one of the sisters or mothers on the Sabrina the Teenage Witch, right?
Aunts. Yep.
The aunts, yes. I'm super excited about seeing that reboot on Netflix.
I am too, actually. I love that show, and you can watch all of those on Hulu. I don't
really?
know. Okay, so Family Matters is on Hulu, Step by Step's on Hulu, Sabrina's on Hulu, and Boy Meets World's on Hulu.
Why does David Arquette always look like he just got done plugging his finger into a wall outlet?
That's how my hair is right now. I'm not.
But it's not even just his hair; it's his facial features. Like he always looks like he's got electricity coursing through his body at any given moment.
So he's got Hulkamania running through his veins.
Yeah.
I mean, this is exactly why I don't do video, because I'm scared I'm going to look something like this, and I'm just like, I can't do it.
I couldn't do video because the moment I look at myself in the mirror, it's like I'd weeping angel myself.
You just kind of freeze.
Yeah, I'm gone forever.
Oh my God. And butt crack.
Plumber butt.
No. Oh. What in the hell? By the way, what part of Atlanta is this in? I've been to Atlanta. I don't think this is a suburb.
No, this looks like a used lot from a Texas Chainsaw Massacre sequel.
True. I can't even argue that.
There's something I want to bring up later, but I don't want to talk about it now because I don't want to spoil it. Having to deal with his son later in the movie.
That's some great brace work. Woo!
Get off the phone, you pussy!
There's an ad placement. 1-800-CALL-ATT.
AT&T. Jesus.
Which was a Nitro sponsor throughout this entire run. It was on the ring canvas. Jimmy King. Poor Jimmy King.
That's the nun from the Blues Brothers.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
According to David Arquette, Shane Helms, or is better known for WWE fans as the Hurricane, was his stunt double.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
That's a fun one.
Is Shane Helms a newer wrestler?
No, he was around in this era.
Was he?
Yeah.
Huh. Jesus.
Oh God. Oh, this is great. I can't believe we're watching this.
I can't believe I'm watching this for the second time in less than 24 hours.
I want one of those. Okay, so our high school newspaper was on. We use those computers.
Uh-huh.
I miss those computers sometimes. Like, it's the only reason I want a Mac is just so I can go back and be like, can I find the same program I used to build my high school newspaper? Because that would be fantastic.
God. This.
Oh, God. This is my future. You want to know what happens when the website dies? This is it.
Yeah. This is my future.
I'm going to be living in an RV somewhere in a woman's muumuu.
And a wig. Hey, let me ask you something. You're a wrestling fan.
Surprise.
Surprise. I was at Con this weekend, and there was a bunch of these people running around with these Bullet Club T-shirts. What's that about? Is that a wrestling thing?
It is a group that is in Japan, and those are the same guys that are putting on All In this weekend.
Okay.
Cody Rhodes and the Young Bucks.
Yeah, one of my managers at my job is always wearing a Young Bucks or like a type of Young Bucks or Bullet Club T-shirt, and I asked him, and he just kind of looked at me like I had stabbed his mother in the heart with an ice pick and walked away.
Yeah.
And then I seen it again, and they had a bunch of wrestlers. Like, they had a bunch of wrestlers there, but they had a bunch of the people from this Bullet Club there, I think.
No, so here's the thing about, have you been to Pro Wrestling Tees yet in Chicago?
No.
Oh my God. As a wrestling fan, you need to go because there's some old school shirts there that you would love a lot.
I always wanted one of the Austin shirts. I always wanted that sleeveless Brahma Bull shirt that The Rock would wear. I never had a lot of wrestling stuff. Like, I watched it. I think I might have had like a Mick Foley mask or a Mankind mask at one point.
Kind of jealous of that.
I know I definitely had a Cactus Jack T-shirt. That was like one of the few wrestling shirts I ever owned.
They have those at Pro Wrestling Tees right now because as being like, I love Chicago. We've been there. I've been there numerous times, but the wife's been there once and she absolutely loves it.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, "This is going to be a blast."
It's okay. It has its ups and downs. I've been here a few times too.
I'll let everyone know. Okay, so where this is at is in Schaumburg. So you know Chicago area.
Yes.
Schaumburg
is very, very far north from where I'm at.
We are also within 10 miles of everything that we're doing that weekend.
Where are you guys staying at?
A hotel in Schaumburg that is affiliated with StarCast. Oh my God, I almost just said it too. Shit.
Woo. Schaumburg is a very nice area. I like being out there. It's a little bit more spread out. I'm a little further into the city where things are nice for my nice and tightly packed together for my lazy ass.
And the shows
Schaumburg's a good area.
And the shows at the Sears Center.
Ooh. I don't know if I've ever been there before.
So 10,450 people sold out in 29 minutes, 36 seconds.
Jesus.
It's the first show outside WWE to have 10,000 people in it since 2000.
My God.
Yeah, let that sink in.
I haven't watched WWE in a great, great many years.
I can't say that. I cannot say that at all.
And honestly, like the last televised WWE match that I watched, I forget which WrestleMania it was, but it was the one where The Rock finally beat Austin in the main event. Like, the running gag was that
19.
The Rock had never beat Austin in a main event. And I don't think it was a title match. It was just an exhibition match.
19.
But was it 19? Okay.
19.
He finally beat him, and then that's when I was like, I'm out. Because I think that was like Austin's last match. I think it was both their last match.
No, actually, The Rock wrestled Goldberg the next month.
Ugh. See, like The Rock, like I loved what they did with his character. I loved when he was with the Nation of Domination.
Here's something you didn't know, kids. That's a very controversial. By the way, I feel like when you did your cosplay from, I'm gonna get Bob's Burgers.
Yes,
I feel like this is kind of what it was like for you.
It was. Like I walked up and like I met like the dudes from Screen Junkies who do like the Honest trailers, and like they were super cool dudes, but like I felt so awkward because I was dressed up as a woman
with a beard
and
with a full beard.
With a beard. And that year...
And we're not talking about your wife. We mean an actual beard.
Yeah. And that was the year that I paid for the David Duchovny VIP package, and I was going to meet him.
Were you dressed as Louise? Was it Louise?
No. It was Tina.
Were you dressed as Tina for your meet and greet with David Duchovny?
No.
Damn it.
I told my wife, I'm like, no, we're not doing it that day. We could cosplay all week. But that I'm not doing it that day because I don't want to meet my idol dressed as a woman because then he might try to pull something on me. Not that I would let him, but
well,
anyway.
I mean, he did it too.
What's that?
He did it as well.
Very true. Very true. Also, one of my favorite shows of all time.
Twin Peaks is a great show, but I watched it right after surgery and I was high on pain medications.
Yes.
That's the only way to watch that show sometimes. I'm telling you.
Whenever you bring me back, we got to do a CineCrap episode on the Twin Peaks Fire Walk With Me movie.
I'm game for that.
Because it's not technically, I mean, and this is just my opinion, it's not technically like a crap movie on this level. And as a side note, I know we're not really commenting on the movie right now, but there's really not a lot going on.
It's a man in a dress drinking a beer.
Yeah.
If you've watched every episode of Jerry Springer, you know this is happening. Like, you've seen this. But things are about to get real in about 20 seconds.
That thick accent. But anyways, we got to do that movie because it's not like a so bad it's good movie. It's a very fucking bizarre movie. A very like I guarantee like that will be like 2 hours of almost dead air because we'll be sitting there scratching our heads the whole time wondering what the fuck is going on.
I love movies like that. Oh my god, there's so much stuff. The way Jimmy King lost the title to cause him to be like this was a spoof of the Montreal Screwjob, which was real life when Bret Hart was supposedly have to retain the title against Shawn Michaels, but they screwed Bret in an unscripted manner, which caused a big controversy.
I was never a big Bret Hart guy.
You were either Bret Hart or Shawn Michaels. If you enjoyed one of them, you hated the other one. Like I've learned.
I didn't hate Bret Hart. Like I enjoyed some of his matches. I liked the was it an Iron Man match that him and Austin had at WrestleMania 13? The year before 14?
Bret and Austin had it was no DQ, I think, or submission match. Submission match. No.
I enjoyed Bret's matches. I didn't hate the guy. Shawn Michaels, I just preferred him.
Why is it just seeing Oliver Platte and his tidy whities just ruin stuff for me? I don't know if I could have dinner tonight now. Worst finishing move ever.
It's I don't know. I really am not a fan of I'm terrible with current wrestling names. Shit.
I think I have that same shirt.
Which one? The Nitro shirt?
No.
Oh, the one he's wearing?
Yeah.
Is that a Schlitz?
Possibly. Is it?
I can't tell.
It could be.
It's smart to not show it. Oh, this is how you know it's a 90s movie. Lit is playing in the background.
Have they done anything since the 90s? The answer to that question is no.
They actually did recently, as in a few years ago. I think they just put out an album.
Speaking of random 90s stuff, there was a show, it was an independent show a couple of weeks ago, and the main person, like one of the main things on the show, was Wheatus performing Teenage Dirtbag live. And
Oh,
the
God.
lead singer of Wheatus got involved in a match. And I went, what the hell is going on here?
So check this out. I'm on Apple Music right now looking up Lit, and they've released an album this year, and it's listed as country music.
Okay, so later on, I will look this up and hope to God they have a music video, so it makes video killed this week. Or next week, at least.
There's an album called These Are the Days, and it's listed as country music.
Okay, so
And there's a video for it. There's a video for the lead single called Good Problem to
we
Have.
will take a look at this later. Okay, so I got a question here. How
Yes.
did they get backstage just carrying a porta shitter?
You look at a guy carrying a giant toilet full of shit in a jumpsuit like that, you're not going to fuck with him.
It's like when I'm a cable guy. I'm okay. Hey,
Oh,
gratuitous
man.
lady part. Oh, is there nudity in this movie?
No. This is PG-13 because there's no nudity. There's like no cursing if you really think about it.
There's a lot of poop jokes.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Is the PG-13 because of the violence? Because if it is, then what the hell?
I think it's PG-13 because of this scene right here.
David Arquette looks like I do when I go to Buffalo Wild Wings right now.
Oh, God.
I do like her hair here, though. That's very quintessential early 2000s hair, though.
It's very like Alanis Morissette looking hair.
I dig that. I threw out. By the way, you want a funny story? While we're at a point where David Arquette's losing it, I threw out my arm 2 weeks ago, and it still has not healed yet.
Okay.
I threw it out playing paper wad basketball
How do you throw your arm out playing paper wad basketball?
because I'm a giant poos. I think that's the best way to explain it. I was trying to shoot it, and I threw the paper way too hard.
Let me ask you something real quick.
Yes.
Why does a wrestler, a guy as beefed out and ripped as Diamond Dallas Page, need bodyguards?
That actually never really happened. Just to let you know.
What do you mean never happened? They never had bodyguards?
Yeah, no.
And more to the point, he has bodyguards protecting himself from flabby, out of shape Oliver Platte.
With a flabby bodyguard.
Exactly.
That might actually be the production crew for Nitro. Okay, so I probably should say who I have the interview with since he's not in the movie.
Go for
I
it.
just realized I have not talked about that yet. So it actually ties into this movie, though. At Slamboree 2000, we have the interview with the man who took the world title from David Arquette.
Who's that?
Help? Does that help at all?
I don't remember, to be honest with you.
We have it tomorrow, guys, on our shows. It will be on our network, tbkradio.com, and on the website as well. We have an interview with the one and only JEFFJARRETT.
You had Jeff Jarrett?
Yeah.
Oh, man, he was such a good villain. I hated him so much, but I loved hating
I'm going
him.
to say something completely crazy. If Jeff Jarrett calls me slapnuts during the interview, I'm going to die happy.
Oh, man, that'd be great. That was fucking slap nuts.
Like, I mean, like, look, if you call me slapnuts, I am going to be the head. By the way, great slide.
That was, like, when you told me earlier that he did his own stunts.
That makes that even more impressive.
That looks so beautiful.
Yeah, you can tell he's doing his own stunts.
And you can very clearly tell.
David Arquette's not.
Yeah.
Who's the prima donna in this? Yeah, we're going to have Jeff Jarrett on the show tomorrow.
That's awesome. I love Jeff Jarrett.
And then no telling who's going to stop by while we're at StarCast all over that week. Because we're on Podcast Row on Sunday, and we have interviews lined all day, but they're not telling us who it's with. Isn't that fun?
That really is the worst finisher of all time, isn't it?
I thought John Cena might have the worst finisher of all time. Then I see this thing, and I'm like, it's probably this thing.
I don't know. The F5 is still pretty shitty.
You mean the FU?
Is it the FU?
Yeah, the
Did I
F5's
call it the
Brock.
F5?
F5's Brock Lesnar.
Oh. Shows how much I know.
Yeah, you're fine. Disco Inferno standing in the background with a badass vest all made of fur.
Look at that Disco. He's dead, right?
No, he's actually going to be at StarCast on this next week.
Damn.
I'm telling you, you could probably throw a nickel into this scene and hit somebody that's going to be at StarCast. Oh, I got a really fun fact about to happen in this movie.
What's that?
I'll wait for it, but
No.
that's an awesome... I want that hat. Who do I have to talk to get that hat?
The Disco Inferno hat?
Yeah. Be like, Disco, who was your hat guy?
That is a very bright hat.
I would wear that everywhere. You know I'm not kidding either. I think you know by now. Yeah. That's the best hat I've seen. David Arquette's the happiest man alive right now.
He is so, like...
He really is that dude who said it's still real to be damn it in this movie. By the way, who throws an after party in the middle of a back lot?
Under an overpass.
Yeah. Also, her hair has changed.
Damn, in less than like a few hours. Jesus.
That's some talent. Rose McGowan. We've got, this is such a weird movie with the casting.
It's funny because some of the wrestlers act better than some of the actors do.
Oh no, I'm 100% behind that thought. Chris Canyon served as Oliver Platt stunt double. I just saw that.
Who?
Chris Canyon.
Okay.
That's kind of a fun fact.
Also, fun fact, David Arquette is a horrible actor.
Have you... I know Eight-Legged Freaks is going to end up on this series as well at some point.
You count me out of that one. I'm deathly afraid.
Oh, so am I.
Of spiders. I do want to. I was thinking about this. I've only watched Arachnophobia once in my life, and I was very young, and this is where my fear of spiders developed from. I watched it. I thought it was great, and then. This was like right around when I first started like taking showers on my own. I graduated from baths to showers, and I was taking a shower, and a spider dropped down onto my shoulder the next morning, and that's where my fear of spiders was born from.
Oh my god! I'm glad you added that. Since like my first shower, a spider landed on me, and I screamed like a little girl and ran out of the. That's all I can see now.
I would love to do an episode of the CineCrap, or like do a one-off, whatever, of me and you doing what we're doing now,
watching that,
but watching Arachnophobia for the first time since I was like 9, because I had not gone back to it. I can watch Eight-Legged Freaks. It still makes my skin crawl, but I can watch it because it's like kind of a cartoon movie. But Arachnophobia uses very realistic looking spiders, and it's very much like a creepy fucking movie. So I would love to watch my live reaction to that. God, the Holy Ghost.
And now he becomes a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. Oh, here we go. This is a scene where you actually see someone that is very popular now for the very first time in a movie. Is it this one? I might be wrong. We're in the business. I think it's coming up. I might be wrong. He might be going to see Sal Bandito next.
No, Bandina, or Bandini or Bandino, whatever. I think that's a few scenes away. Maybe you're right, actually.
Like, there's a scene, there's one thing coming up that a lot of people miss, and I want to point that out. The character Nitro Girl, the character that Rose McGowan's playing, Sasha, is based on Kimberly Page, DDP's ex-wife.
Ooh.
Jimmy King is not scared. Jimmy King does not back down.
Man, could you imagine, like, kids who, like, when this movie came out, who were still operating under the illusion that wrestling was actually real, and then they go to see this movie thinking, like, oh, I love WCW, I'm going to go see this movie. It's all fake. Like,
is this what killed WCW? Is this what killed kayfabe?
I really think this killed the WCW. I really do.
Oh, God.
Jimmy King is the best wrestler
He's the bachelor. Better than
What the hell?
He's really bad.
Oh my God, David Arquette, what are you doing?
Who in the world does this? Staff members of the site, please do this for me once. That's all I ask.
See, like, I think I like the Scott Conn character because, like, he's...
This is Sal.
Yes, it is. David Arquette is going too over the top with the comedy. Like, I like how Scott Conn is playing. Like, it's totally absurd, but he's playing it so straight and serious.
His character is coming across as that It's Still Real to Me fan. So much so. Oh,
What's
God.
up?
His character comes across as like, this is real.
Yeah. Which I guess my headphones dropped out, so that's why
I heard it, actually. That was
for
kind of
that.
fun. That was kind of funny, actually.
That plays into him doing his own stunts. Like, that adds to it. Like, I feel like that just adds to the, like, a movie as absurd as this is. Like, it's just fun. Wanna wrestle?
I feel like this is just a kid. This is a catchphrase for life now. Want to wrestle? I know I'm going to ask David Arquette a ton of questions about this movie if we get him on the show this week.
Oh my God. I can't wait to hear that, because there's, like, I just would love to have been on the
Casting? I want to know
casting.
who
I just
else
wanted
was
to
up
be
for
on the
this.
studio for this, just to see what it was like behind the scenes.
I figure there were a lot of people up for the role in this movie. But I also think they might have actually seeked out wrestling fans, and he just beat up an entire wrestling team.
The scene after this, or a couple scenes after this, where they break into his
Sid
apartment.
and Bam Bam break in, yeah.
No, I think it's Perry Saturn and it was Sid Vicious that break in.
Oh yeah, I knew Sid was one of them. That's Perry.
And it's funny. He's so fucking funny because you clearly can tell it's a stunt double. Like, they don't even try to hide it.
Why would they at that point? Speaking of which, this character, the Sal Bandini character, is based on Stu Hart.
That I can see.
Because he really did this to people in the dungeon. This is crazy. I cannot believe we're sitting here on a Monday afternoon watching Ready to Rumble.
You know, it's funny too. Like, there's this movie I wanted to watch.
An actual movie.
Well, no, it's not an actual movie. Do you know horror movies?
I'm decently well enough to know. I know.
Do you know the Puppet Master movies?
Yeah.
There's the latest Puppet Master movie came out called Puppet Master: The Littlest Reich.
Put it right in the yam
starring,
bags. Go ahead.
Of all people, Thomas Lennon.
I'm in. You've sold me. You don't even have to tell anymore.
It is the single. Like, this is the type of movie that CineCrap was made for.
I'm trying to get. So to let everyone know, I'm trying to get my hands on a movie like that called Platypossum.
Ooh. Platypossum sounds delightfully shitty.
It is. I want to see more of it.
Littlest Reich is the single most vile, disgusting, over-the-top gory, super offensive movie ever made.
Coming soon to CineCrap within the next 2 months.
It is... I don't want to spoil it. I'll save it for if you decide to do it, but watch the trailer after we're done here, and just, wow.
I have a
just
question.
Wow.
I got a question to ask you. Did you, when you took your wife out on your first date, did you bring her bananas? I mean, did you, I don't even know what the word is for a bunch of bananas. Like, did you bring her?
Oh my God, my wife is probably going to kill me, but I'm blanking on what our first date was. Like, our first real outside date was karaoke, I believe. It was karaoke, yeah.
I'm sorry, I just can't see you doing karaoke.
Oh, Richard, that's what I used to do for the longest time. Like, when I was unemployed for a while, my friend owns his own karaoke company, so that's what I did. I do like 2 or 3 karaoke shows a night, and I was a karaoke. Like, I've got video I'll have to send you of me singing "Good" by Better Than Ezra.
Oh, I love that song. Are these videos on YouTube?
No. That's the only one I kept for my personal collection. But my wife likes to watch this video because in the video, you can hear me. Like, someone in the background says, "Good song," and I said, "Thank you," like really gay-like for some reason. Like, "Thank you," and she like stops watching it as soon as that happens because that's the only, like, to her that's like the god of like comedy.
So if you send me this video, you know it's going to become a soundbite.
Go for it.
Right.
I'll send it to you when we're done recording. It's a song is split up into 2 halves, but I'll send you the half with the thank you. This is This is
how I lost my virginity.
What's that?
This is how I lost my virginity. Wrestling in a bedroom like this. Hands down.
This is the... If she didn't get a concussion or was knocked out from getting punched in the face like that...
We've now laughed. That's my second big laugh in this movie. Mother of God. The only thing missing on these is if he had a mustache.
Ramathorn. Those look like pizzas. I know those are placemats, but they look like pizzas.
Oh, I love
God, oh, God, now I want a pizza. Son of a bitch.
You live in a great city for pizza. Hey, speaking of which...
I tell you.
Speaking of which, give me some places for pizza.
Okay, Chicago-style pizzas. We got Giordano's. Home Run Inn's good. I don't know if that's Chicago local, though.
Hold on.
Giordano's and Gino's East or Gino's West.
Hold that thought for 1 minute. Here comes the scene with something crazy. My dog's going crazy. I don't know. There's Goldberg.
Do you remember the Longest Yard remake with Adam Sandler?
I
and
love
he had
that
all
one.
the WWE wrestlers in that movie?
Well, there's a reason I'm bringing this up. Oh, I hope I didn't miss it. My dog is going nuts. Hey, hold on 1 second. Talk for the people while I go calm down my dog.
I swear, like, Goldberg is the best. I don't want to say actor wrestler because like there have been better, but guys who are clearly better suited for wrestling than acting. But he's really good in this movie. Like, I really feel like Goldberg would be a good would be a good comedian. Not necessarily comedian, but
I'm back.
Okay, good. Because I was
in the background, the background with the mohawk.
What's that?
The background, the big ripped dude with the mohawk.
Yeah,
that's John Cena.
Shut the front door.
No, that
right
is
there.
Yeah, John. He's out of the picture now, but John Cena is in this movie. I think he's in the very, very back right now. Yeah.
While you were gone, I was trying to very shittily explain why I think Goldberg is would be a good comedic actor.
Oh, because of the movie, because of The Longest Yard.
Well, yeah, 'cause he's really funny in that movie, and I was saying I was trying to talk to the people that are listening, he'd be really I was failing horribly, it was so bad. Oh God, you might want to edit
that out.
Edit that out.
Well, I can't because it goes with the movie.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, so John Cena's
This
in
is a
that
good
scene.
one.
I forgot. That's the one I was wanting to get to. This is John
Hi,
Cena's.
Sal Mandini. Want to wrestle?
Yeah, that's John Cena's first acting debut, by the way.
You know, there was a movie I saw a while ago with John Cena that was actually a pretty decent little action movie. It's a B movie, but it's pretty good. He plays a cop. Duh.
Is it 12 rounds?
Yes. No, it's not. Yes.
Yeah, because I think he's a cop in 12 rounds.
No, maybe it's not 12. 12 rounds was good, but that's not the one I'm thinking of.
He's not a bad actor, honestly. He's
not, he's not awful.
He's better at comedy, though.
Dude, he was I hate with a passion, what's your face?
Want to wrestle?
That's my second laugh out loud moment right there.
Sid is from where we live, by the way, in our area, so that's
Really?
yeah. So that's kind of fun.
Fucking Perry Saturn never did anything with his career ever again.
He had a decent career, but I mean, like, I don't. He had a surgery recently and had to have. There was a GoFundMe and everything.
Outside of the Four Horsemen, I feel like he didn't have much of a career. But I don't know. I'm ooh shit.
Wood chair. Sid.
Totally forgot what I was saying now.
That's
Never mind. Strike that. I
that's-
forgot. I totally blanked on what I was talking about.
Worst hospital waiting room ever.
Oh my god, this doesn't look like a hospital waiting room. This looks like a sanitarium.
It looks like a courthouse.
It does kind of, doesn't it?
Or like a law office. Yeah, no, it's you can tell this is a set. By the way, this is one of those weird things. I love when the vending machines that give coffee.
I have those at work, and it's really pretty good, actually, for vending machine coffee.
Those are the coolest vending machines in the history of vending machines. I get so excited when I see the. Oh,
you know this is a '90s movie when there's a Minute Maid vending machine.
only thing missing is a Fruitopia vending machine.
Oh my god, Fruitopia. Honeycomb snackabouts. Jesus.
Is that still a thing? What the hell is a snack about?
I mean, I actually right now have a box of honeycomb cereal in the cabinet.
Honeycomb is big. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not. It's small. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, there we go. Random. I'm just throwing out all facts today. I don't even care anymore.
What?
Oh god. I have that shirt too. I
like the scene where they. I can't really talk about it. I don't want to spoil it too much.
We're getting
it's coming up later when Gordy goes one way and they go another. I'll bring it up later.
I'm telling you, this movie is fan-frickin-tastic.
It's fun to watch.
Oh, it's not one of those that you're going to watch and go, man, that is the greatest cinematic masterpiece of all time.
Like, Richard, I'm not going to lie, I probably will never watch this movie again.
You say that now. You say that now, and you'll be like, you know what? 10 years from now, you're going to be like, I want to watch Ready to Rumble.
Watch out. My daughter grows up, and this ends up being like her favorite movie of all time.
So I found you on this podcast, Dad, and I found this movie that I fell in love with.
Oh, this is my new favorite movie, and then oh God, I really hope not.
And then you have to watch it 75 times.
I don't even think. No, there can't be a single person on this planet that likes this movie that much. Like I'm all for.
This might be the sixth time I've ever watched it in my life.
I know that like every movie has like there's at least one major hardcore fan for every movie out there. Like every movie, no matter how shitty. Like there's somebody out there who thinks, Manos Hands of Fate is like the best movie ever made. And not ironically, like for real thinks it's the best movie ever made. There's got to be someone out there who feels that way about this movie.
If it is, it's David Arquette. I'm pretty sure it's David Arquette.
She very, like, you can clearly tell she does not want to be in this movie. Like, it's very obvious. She's not doing a very good job of pretending to be enthusiastic about being here.
I'm going to answer the phone while on the show. Hold on. Oh, no, I'm not. It went away.
Another 90s throwback. Kid Rock.
It's not a wrestling show or movie without a Kid Rock song in it.
Mm-mm.
That was a spam call.
Twin Towers.
Oh, wow. Yeah. It's awkward to see those in a movie now.
It does. It is. I feel like...
I had that throw.
The one he's laying in?
Yeah, the WCW NWO blanket. I had that.
Mm-hmm. You know what was a really great moment? I think it was actually a No Mercy pay-per-view when they brought over the ECW wrestlers into WWE. I think that was an Eric Bischoff move, wasn't it?
They brought him over in 2001, I think. That was a cool moment. That was a really cool moment.
Wasn't that an Eric Bischoff move?
It would have been...
No, not Bischoff. I'm sorry. Jesus. Paul
Heyman?
Yeah, there you go. God damn. Ooh!
How many times has Oliver Platte been kicked in the yam bags in this movie? Shit.
I'm going to go with like a baker's dozen.
They had to film
right. Like I know that's fake, but that still hurts.
Right in the
he
balls
sells it really
again,
well.
Twice. My God.
He has the best shirts in this movie.
I know, right? I want to know who his shirt guy is. I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know how to explain it.
Mm-hmm. You know who, do you ever watch the show Trailer Park Boys?
Yes.
He's like dressing like a proto Ricky. Like I bought an outfit for con this year. I bought like track pants and like a really garish looking like Hawaiian shirt that's got like dragons and shit on it. And I was going to draw like the weird, I was going to go as Ricky because I love Trailer Park Boys. But we just ended up going as the Doctor all day. But I'm watching this now. The Doctor all weekend. I'm watching this now, and he reminds me a little like Ricky because he's wearing the track pants and the really odd-looking shirts.
Yeah, no, it is. Do you think if anyone cosplayed as Jimmy King that they would know? Like anybody would ever be like, "Oh my God, you're Jimmy King"? Do you think that would even happen?
If they did, it would have to be as his wrestling outfit.
And still, then, would anyone know what it is?
I feel like they would. I really do. Because, like, the con this year, there wasn't a lot of people, but there was, like, some deep... I wish I would have taken some pictures for the website. I didn't even think about it. But there were some deep-cut costumes. Like, not just, like, you had your standard Deadpools, your Harley Quinns, and, your Avengers and
clad
stuff.
Poison Ivies. Yeah, I get you.
There was, like, some deep-cut... Like, there was Jared, the dwarf, or the, David Bowie from Labyrinth.
That's what I've been seeing a lot of lately.
There was, I'll have to send you the picture when we're done. The whole, do you remember the waiting room scene at the, in Beetlejuice when Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis go to the afterlife or whatever?
Yeah.
They get their handbook. They had everybody there, like the woman who got cut off and cut in half.
That's awesome.
There was some deep cut, really good costumes there. I have to say, I really, feel bad for not taking more pictures. I've got a few, but I didn't really get too many. This is coming up, the scene where they start recruiting for his posse.
Which is actually a wrestling storyline they took for this movie. So,
like, let me ask you, since you're the trivia man today.
Yeah.
The people that wrote the script for this movie, were they the script writers for WCW, or are they just read regular Hollywood?
That's a good question. Let me
writers?
see. Written by Julius Wetcher? I'm going to see what that's soundtrack. Never mind. I'm going to look up what the script writers have done for this. Let's see here.
I'd be very curious to see if these were WCW screenwriters. I mean, it would make sense.
Stephen Brill is the name of the writer who wrote... Oh, my God. Nope. Stephen Brill, by the way, the guy who wrote this movie.
Little Nicky. Oh, my God.
Wrote Little Nicky, D2 the Mighty Ducks, D2 the Mighty Ducks, Heavyweights, D3 the Mighty Ducks, Little Nicky, and Walk of Shame.
Oh, you're missing a few other luminaries, such as Drillbit Taylor.
Well, he was acting in those.
Oh, he was actor in those.
Yeah.
Okay. Writer. Damn. He directed some good movies, too.
Director. I'll look at this.
Without he directed a few.
Movie
Mr.
43,
Deeds,
of course. Of fucking course.
Heavyweights.
I love that movie. That could be why I enjoy this movie so much. It's because it's done by the same dude who did Heavyweights.
Heavyweights was so good. That's a classic. Like, that's not even an ironically bad movie. Like, that's just a
that's
good
how
movie.
you get Ben Stiller's character for Dodgeball. It's because of Heavyweights.
Oh my God, he is just like the fucking dude from Dodgeball, isn't he? Like, that's a proto. Oh, when he takes. Oh, I don't want to. I feel like we're distracting from the movie we're watching, but
Such a good movie.
When he takes the kids on the hike and he's being all psycho about jumping off the cliff, like that is a genuinely terrifying moment in that movie.
I love how pissed off he gets when they're gaining weight still.
Goldberg.
Oh, have you seen the pictures of that guy recently?
Dude, he's I feel for him. Like I want to send him money.
We're not even talking about this movie. We're just like, you know what, at this point.
Because there's nothing like this is like there's nothing I like right now. It's like, oh, I can't because my dad wants me to be a cop. I can't go with you. It's all standard. It starts getting good again
when they start looking for the people to help him.
Yes, that's when this movie picks up. So if we're not talking about the movie right now, it's not because
it sucks.
It just this is the slowest part of the movie.
And it's not anything to do with, you always have to have that conflict. This is the conflict they chose, which I hate. And now here we go, posse trials.
Here we go.
Roddy Piper did this on an episode of Nitro. Back in 98.
Oh, this is great. This is a good gag. I like this.
You know what the scene reminds me of?
What's that?
Mystery Men, when they're trying to get the different superheroes together.
Oh, God. You got to do that movie for CineCrap.
Oh, no, that's happening. I love this makeshift wrestling ring. We all had one of those as a kid.
Oh, for sure. I love how they couldn't get the rights to the Dee Snider version of this song, so they had to use a cover version of it.
I like the cover, though.
It's a good cover. It's just made me laugh a little.
I don't know who the band is now, but I know it's a female lead singer.
Like I chuckled. This isn't my third laugh out loud moment, but I chuckled. This is a nice gag. Like there's flashes of really actually good comedy in this movie. Very few and far between. Like that scene, that was good.
The fireman. I'm gonna hose you. Ah. God.
Chew.
Ping. Oh,
hey, how do you feel about Ronda Rousey being in the WWE?
I actually love it.
Yeah?
I called that so many years ago because she just fits the mold. She looks like she's having a blast too.
Oh my God.
That came out of nowhere.
Yes, it did. She, the only reason I asked is because you made that comment about Roddy Piper. I know she's doing the hot rod get up.
Well, he gave that all to her.
He did?
Yeah, no. When she chose her name Rowdy for the UFC, she actually asked Roddy Piper if she could use it. And I loved
Roddy Piper.
They grew a huge friendship, and now she's wearing his jacket to the ring.
I was gonna say because I follow her on Instagram, and she's always posting shit of her dressed up in like full on Roddy Piper get up, and I just didn't know if that was like a tribute or if he signed off on it or.
Okay, how big of a deal is it in this little town that they had to bring out the high school marching band for Jimmy King?
That's how you know you got a podunk little trash town.
This is where I grew up. This is pretty much what would happen if like somebody had to stop in town. They would go to this.
This is the moment I knew that I liked him better than I liked Gordy.
Because he
makes the actual real right here.
Yes. No, he makes the best decision of the movie.
He does. No, I can't guarantee that I would have made that decision at that age because, raging hormones. But
I'm going to say it now. The nerdy girl is going to be freakier.
Oh, for sure. And she proves it in like a few minutes.
Hard Rock Cafe?
I got something for you, too.
And I'm going to eat you with a nice side of farva beans.
And then a nice Chianti.
Good grief. I love that Gordy's riding in the back seat of his dad's police car. Hey, is that the dude from the Oak Ridge Boys? Behind Jimmy King?
Oh, my God. The Oak Ridge Boys. Every year for Christmas, my parents, when I lived at home with them, they had Johnny Mathis playing in the background and the Oak Ridge Boys Christmas album. And it was always just flip flop between. Oh, and then sometimes they'd sub in Kenny. No, not Kenny G. Michael Bolton Christmas.
Now I'm gonna have Elvira stuck in my head. Oh my god! Like, look at the dude behind him with the long gray hair.
He does look like one of the Oak Ridge boys.
There's just an Oak Ridge boy in Wyoming, just like, I love Jimmy King. Or it's the dude from ZZ Top.
Oh, in about 5 seconds, we're going to see some Scott Conn butt. That's probably what got them the PG-13 rating.
The Scott
naked
Conn
man
butt.
butt.
On an unrelated note, I'm comfortable with my sexuality to say he has a nice butt.
He's a good-looking dude.
He still is, too. I had. Yep.
Slut.
Doing the whole, she loves that.
Whoa.
He is now completely nude. Oh, by the way, they just leave with her clothes on the RV.
Woo.
Did you take that into consideration?
I did not even think about that.
So is she walking? Because I figure she didn't drive there.
I don't feel like anyone drives in that town.
Yeah, so I mean, she's walking home in a blanket.
Hey, man. What? Now, was the Royal Bash, was that an actual pay-per-view? Or no? I feel like that would have been at some point.
I feel like that's where it was going. But no, they didn't. I love the set, though.
Now, the Royal Bash, is that like the movie equivalent of Sting?
You gotta have a movie with Sting. Have you ever seen Sting's Christian movie?
No.
Oh, it's CineCrap worthy. Oh my god!
Like a God movie, like a Jesus movie.
He found God, but it's his story of fighting addiction. And I'm not trying to make light of fighting addiction because he does it. He kicks ass, but it's really badly acted, and not because of Sting, because of who they get to play Sting.
Oh, so he doesn't even play himself.
No, he's like a narrator.
Oh shit. Fun fact, I have never seen Sting without his makeup.
Oh, really?
Nope.
There's a fun story. There's a wrestler by the name of Xavier Woods in WWE.
Mm-hmm.
He was in TNA, and Sting was in TNA. And Sting sells real estate in Texas.
Shut up.
Yeah. And he didn't know why Real Estate Steve was at the show. Didn't realize that was Sting because you don't really see him without makeup very often.
Mm-hmm.
And was like,
I've never seen him without makeup. That's crazy.
Why is Real Estate Steve here? And I'm dying laughing. It's one of the best stories I've ever heard in wrestling. This looks like it's in a medieval times. Now I'm 100% sure this is filmed at a medieval times. The way they're sitting in the crowd and with the hats and everything. No, this might be actually at a medieval times.
Now, is this like this? I didn't ever grasp this concept until watching it last night. This is had to have been, without a doubt, the shortest pay-per-view event in the history of pay-per-view events. Because it's just one match. Everyone's there. Everyone's hyped. They do all this for one match, and then it's over.
Here's what I think in wrestling world. This entire show has gone on before this match, and we're just coming into this.
Okay.
Speaking of which,
because I always felt like, that makes sense now in retrospect.
This cage actually was used in WCW.
Really? Like the triple cage?
Yeah,
was a real thing?
They brought it after the movie came out. They used it at Slamboree 2000, and then again later on in October.
Huh. I was going to ask that, actually. When you told me we were going to be doing this movie for the podcast, that was one thing I wanted to... I earmarked for myself to ask. I'm like, did they ever actually use this cage? Now I know.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble. I wonder how much they had to pay Michael Buffer to name the movie Ready to Rumble. Because he gets he gets $125,000 every time he does this.
Well, he's definitely living off of the... royalties for the rest of his life he made off of this movie.
His brother's the dude who does the UFC announcing.
Really?
Yeah. It's time. Like, really? That's your thing? Your brother comes up, it's ready to let's get ready to rumble, and your thing is fire. And your thing is it's time.
Oh my god, that is the world's worst posse.
I don't know. I've seen some pretty bad ones. At least the champion got top billing. Let's just go ahead and say that.
That's accurate. Although that's not always accurate.
Not anymore. No, not anymore.
I remember the first time going back to WrestleMania 17 again, when Rocky and Austin fight and Austin went heel, they brought The Rock out first.
Yeah.
And he was the champion at the time.
Yeah, the belts, I think, at the top of the cage.
Yep.
That really happened. Canyon got through off the thing in Kansas City at Slamboree 2000. That's kind of a cool spot to see.
So did they use this cage often, or was it just like a one and done?
They did it twice. Aesthetically, I think it looks awesome. I think it looks great on television, but I feel like it was just too much of a pain in the ass to actually use.
I was going to say, it looks like a practical nightmare.
I mean, the double ring cage is still, to me, like probably the most practical nightmare ever. But then there's this thing. And I hear Mike Tenay now. And there's Tony Schiavone. Seriously, can we get Oliver Platte for StarCast? How much money would that take? I'll pay it.
Oh my god, he would. I feel like what is he doing right now?
Isn't he like on some cop show?
I don't know, to be honest with you. The last thing I remember Oliver Platte being in is he was one of the government operatives in the X-Men First Class, the first one that featured McAvoy and Fassbender.
Chicago Med.
Okay.
He's on Chicago Med. There's so ironic for you. Hey, StarCast is in Chicago. Let's make this happen.
There are so many like Chicago-based. Oh, this is another one that I laughed at.
The powder never works. Ah.
No, this line right here.
That might be the best line of the
every time.
You know what? That might be the best line of the movie.
Diamond cut is an upside down pussy. It's such a dumb throwaway line, but oh my god, I die laughing every time. Just the way he sells it. It's not even a well-written line, but the way Scott Conn sells it just makes me
So
laugh
we're
so
on
hard.
agreement here. Scott Conn is the savior of this movie.
He is so good.
So if David Arquette's not playing Gordy, do you feel this movie's better?
Well, do you get someone to replace him, or do you just cut that character out completely?
You get someone to replace him, but they wouldn't camp it up as much.
Who would you replace David Arquette with?
I don't know, the dude from the New Guy, TJ
Skinny
Qualls.
kid?
TJ Qualls, yeah.
Hmm.
What's he doing now?
I don't know.
It's Jimmy
What is he
King's
doing
kid.
now?
I don't know. Last time I saw him, it was Delta Farce.
Oh my god.
Oh, Larry the Cable Guy Health Inspector coming to CineCrap soon.
Oh, he's on Supernatural.
What?
Or he was. He
What?
was at one point.
What?
Yeah, he was like a bounty hunter on Supernatural. Like, I stopped watching Supernatural so long ago, and that's a show I keep threatening to get back into. Oh, this is a badass moment. Like, I don't like Kid Rock, I really don't, but just hearing that fucking song, and then Booker T and
Goldberg,
the Kidman,
Billy the Kidman,
Billy the Kidman,
and Disco Inferno, because one of these things is not like the other.
and then this is pretty cool here too.
Where the hell he come from? Where the hell did he get him? When
and where did he get the costume, the tailor, to make a costume that quick?
Also, when did he get his motorcycle license?
Exactly. And this is such a shameless, crossover. The first time I saw that, I'm like, they crossed over the Boss Man from WWE, and oh god, what's the other guy's name? Colonel Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah. Speaking of which, Sergeant Slaughter gonna be at StarCast. So,
oh my god,
dude, I'm telling you, everybody you grew up watching, with the exception of like a few big names, are gonna be at StarCast.
They had a bunch of wrestlers at Wizard this year. It was
Mick
Billy
Foley.
Gunn.
Mick Foley was there.
He was there for a day. Tommy Dreamer, who's like my favorite ECW
Tommy
wrestler of all
Dreamer's
time.
also going to be at StarCast. And Tommy Dreamer's part of All In, I think, too. So, I mean, that's pretty awesome. I love Tommy Dreamer.
Tommy Dreamer, the Nasty Boys were there.
I love those guys.
Dude, and it was so great because like they had all the wrestlers in a row in the autograph alley, and you could tell like everyone was just kind of like, no one was like going up to them at first, so they were all just kind of sitting there playing on their phones. But the Nasty Boys were like coming out from behind their booth and
just
like
talking
interacting
to
with
people?
the people walking by and just like razzing them and having a good time. I'm like, if I was a fan of theirs, that would have made my fucking day.
Oh god.
This is a good moment.
Second best part of the movie.
Whack.
Who did it? Do we ever find out who did it?
I don't think we did. It's got to be. Well,
It's
who
the
was
same guy who
wielding-
drove the white Hummer. Anybody who's a wrestling fan will get that reference. By the way, those were not part of the... I don't think the ladder was actually in the cage, though, when they did it.
But then how did you get up to the cage?
There's a door in the second part that you had to get open.
Oh, okay. And you had to climb up the outside?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, God. That's a noose.
That is grim.
That's a little...
That's a little hardcore for WCW.
That's dark.
Like, I could see WWE or WWF
WWE
at
did
the
do
time.
this. The Undertaker hung Boss Man from the Hell in a Cell that way.
Oh, I remember that match. That was so, like, dark.
Oh. And they're staying.
Like, I remember when the Undertaker's crew, the Ministry?
The
Ministry?
Yeah.
Before, like, they were super dark, and I loved it. But then when they combined with the corporation and became the corporate ministry for a spell there, that was a little too... They took it a little too far. Like, it was a little too campy. Like the dark gothic nature of the ministry was awesome. But then when the corporation got involved...
Sting pulling out his best Indiana Jones impersonation.
Dun, 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 dun.
I mean, it's Sting. That probably didn't hurt as bad as it looked.
Jimmy King's all right by me. That's like his Silent Bob moment.
Sting is Silent Bob of this movie, isn't he?
He is.
Okay, as a fan, I would probably be like that too.
I would want Sting to punch me. Even though I was never like the most hardcore Sting fan, I always liked the Sting.
So
I always wanted to get of all the moves done to me, like do me, like the Gordy moment. I would like Shawn Michaels to give me the super kick. I forget what he called it.
Sweet chin music. I don't know I don't know who I'd want to have a move done to me, but I know I'm going to be around so many wrestlers this weekend, and I'm going, there's so many guys that I'd be like, can you hurt me? Can you do something? We bought a wrestling ring, by the way, for this show. Not an actual one, but a thumb wrestling ring.
Mm-hmm.
So we can have thumb wrestling with the fans.
Oh, that'd be fun.
We're hoping we get one of the wrestlers to join us.
Oh, come on. How would they not?
And I was like, that'd be the moment of the weekend. And those videos are going to be coming to our Facebook page as they happen.
Oh, man. This looks like it hurt.
You want to know what my life has been after high school? This is a perfect metaphor.
And down he goes.
Thunk,
oh.
thunk.
Oh. Ow. Like, I know he didn't realistically drop all the way from the top.
Have you ever? I know you've seen the Mick Foley Hell in a Cell video.
Oh, the classic. This is one of the all-time classic moments.
So Mick Foley says the worst part of it was not the throw off the cell, it was the one through it.
Yeah?
Because he says it was like hitting concrete, where he actually hit concrete the first time.
Jesus.
And that's the drop that knocked the tooth through his nose.
Ooh.
Jimmy King's the champ! Jimmy King's the champ! That's gold. Jimmy King's the champ!
Yeah, that's why, like, I feel like they used the belt, like the actual belt for the money shot here at the end. Which I don't know why they wouldn't just... Yeah, that is the actual belt.
Yeah. Or one of the really close ones to it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know if they... Okay, you can't buy pay-per-view on those. Those are some tight pants. Jimmy King.
Oh, this is good too here.
That's an Insane Clown Posse t-shirt.
Oh God.
Hey,
90s dated reference number 5,000.
Speaking of which, if you guys want a chance to meet the Insane Clown Posse, come to StarCast, and you got that opportunity.
Jesus. the purveyors of such what was that one movie they did where they were like the cowboys?
Oh God, I don't remember.
Big Money Rustlers.
Yes.
Big Money Rustlers. Oh my God, that's a perfect CineCrap movie.
I like well, I actually did a retro video I did a song of theirs, and I'm like, it's really crazy that we're at a convention with the Insane Clown Posse. Like, that still has not set into me yet. And Macaulay Culkin.
I've always wanted to meet them to ask them, do you really not know how magnets work?
That's actually one of the selling points for their meet and greets.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking magnets. How do they work? Funniest line ever, period, in a song.
I've actually been so excited for StarCast. I'm not even going to lie to you. Like, this weekend coming up is going to be epic. I can feel God in this here Chili's. Wrong thing. This
was my favorite moment in the movie, just because like I projected myself onto Gordy. Like, I always imagined like The Rock would pick me to be his tag partner. So like as a kid, like this was like, I will bust you. Like, this moment was like my my fan relate moment, if you will.
Sean's sugar daddy dog. By the way, what restaurant orders a pay-per-view for the kitchen workers?
Yeah, I know, right? Like, that's your bonus. That's how we're paying you this month. See, now there the belt looks fake again.
Yeah. I wonder who has that belt. Because someone does.
I bet you David Arquette does.
I don't know. Since he won it, he might actually have one of the real ones.
I like this scene coming up.
I do too. This movie has a lot of redeeming qualities, but it's so cheesy it kills it.
I love like Goldberg is traveling with them. Like, everyone else is like, Scott Conn for some reason is dressed in his normal street clothes, and everyone else is dressed in their wrestling gear, and they're just out in the world shopping. Like, I want to believe in my head like they're just driving along, and Goldberg's like, I need a Slurpee, and then they just show up at some random convenience store in their wrestling attire.
If you're a wrestling fan and that happens, you have to freak out a little. Oh my God.
Those are total medieval crowns.
They are medieval times crowns. Oh no, they are. The We Will Rock You cover.
Another cover.
The one that they did was
Want to wrestle?
And that's Booker T's wife on the left.
Ooh.
Fun factoids. Like the one version that they did, and I can't think of the other song that was done by the female band, is the song they used 100% for the movie. And now we've got the outtakes.
Anus breath.
Oh my God.
These are such 90s like.
Well, this movie had to be filmed in what, 99?
I feel like it.
I mean, it came out in 2000, so I figure it was filmed in 99.
It had to have been, because the process, like now you can churn out a movie in a couple of months, like with the way technology works. But back then, I imagine it took like a lot longer to film movies.
I think it was 3 to 4. I think it was 3 to 5 months to film a movie even then, but it was just a lot more processing.
Mm-hmm.
David Arquette. I like David Arquette, though. I like David Arquette a lot.
I do. Like, I make fun of him for being a bad actor, but I really, really do like him.
He's living his dream, man. And I mean, he's back into wrestling. He produces a lot of television shows. He still works with Courtney Cox.
I like him in the Scream movies.
Speaking of which, his character in the Scream movies dated Rose McGowan. Fun story. I forgot that until I read it.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah,
I'm
but
gonna go back and watch those movies
I haven't watched those in so long.
in forever. Oh man, I remember when I was a sophomore or was a junior in high school, and Scream 3 came out, and like everyone in school was talking about Scream 3 because like that was the big thing. I took a notebook and I wrote myself an 85-page script
did
for
all
what
his
I
nut
thought
shots.
Scream 4 would be.
They put all his nut shots in a montage.
That's great. That's like YouTube material right there.
This movie cost 24. Hey, we're done. You can turn it off now, man. We're not done with the show, but I figure you don't have to listen to the music now. This movie cost $24 million to make. Opening weekend only grossed 5. Ended up making 12.
So definitely under budget.
Oh, it bombed. I get it. I do, but
Well, you know what? They probably thought that it was going to be huge back in the day because wrestling was. I feel wrestling, and now maybe it's just because I'm not into it like I used to be, but I feel like wrestling was bigger back then than it is nowadays.
I think, okay, that's actually a really interesting statement because I think the independence right now is about as big as WCW, might be actually bigger than what WCW was at the time this movie came out.
Yeah, I feel like, and I don't know much about the independents, so I don't want to seem like I'm ignorant or anything, but I feel like they're doing more interesting stuff than like WWE is.
Well,
I feel like WWE is just like so. The few bits and pieces I catch here and there, which, you know, isn't a lot, so I don't want to seem like I'm an authority on the subject by any stretch of the imagination, but I feel like they've just gone way too into the story. Like, it's not even about the wrestling anymore.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, they just put 10,000 people in a building, and that hasn't been done since this movie came out. The last time it was done, by the way, in April of 2000 in Chicago.
What was that?
Spring Stampede 2000 for WCW.
Okay.
The last time that was the last time a non-WWE event put 10,000 people in an arena.
I feel like I had fun watching this movie, fun ragging on it, and fun talking about it. But I kind of want to get back into wrestling now. I'm not gonna lie.
I saw you and I was like, you know, I saw that all the names that keep getting announced for this thing, and I'm like, yeah, I feel like this is something that a lot of people I know will enjoy.
If you know, like if I was more of a, I don't know, like I just dropped off. Like I felt like, you know, like the wrestling, the actual wrestling took a back seat to the theatrics, and the theatrics are fun. Like they had some of the best storylines. Like one of my favorite storylines ever was when, do you remember when they hit Austin with the car?
Yes.
And like he disappeared, and like, you know, obviously he was getting surgery, so it was kind of a smokescreen for him.
Yeah, they were able to write him off TV for a little bit, and then
like he was gone for like a full year. Like everyone was assuming it was The Rock, and then it was revealed that Rikishi hit him with the car, and Rikishi's like, "I did it for you, Rock. I did it for you.
I did it for The Rock."
Oh, he's a nice guy. I met him one year at C2E2, and he's a real nice dude.
I met him at a con in Tennessee. Dude's super nice. Like I didn't even get an autograph. I'm just like, I just want to shake your hand and tell you thank you. And he goes, I appreciate that sometimes. You have no idea this line of work, like, is it's always somebody wants something, but when somebody thanks you, it's just awesome. It was a cool conversation I had with him.
Yeah, I met him, and then the Iron Sheik. That was a trip.
Sheiky baby, make you humble. Oh my god.
Oh man, you remember for that short period of time when he was like a meme superstar because he was like cussing everybody out on the internet?
He still does that.
Does he?
Yeah.
I didn't even know I thought he was dead.
No.
To be honest with you.
No. We've actually been covering a lot of his stuff recently for some ungodly reason. I don't know how that's happened, but guys, I feel like that is wrestling tech. By the way, I paused it just in time for the credits to say wrestling technical advisor Chris Canyon, and with his last name.
I stopped on. Oh yeah, look at that. So did I. Like it says at the top of the screen, second assistant director.
We are paused at the same exact spot.
Oh man, we're in sync today.
That very rarely happens on CineCrap. Trust me, unless the person's here with me, that very rarely happens. I don't know what our next movie is on this show. I will keep you guys updated because next week I'm taking the week off. After Starcast. Okay, so here's what's coming up. I haven't told you this. So here's our month of September. It is Starcast and All In weekend, which we're doing interviews. We're covering a tailgate at the Sears Center Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Mhm.
Oh my God.
That's going to be a weekend.
Oh my God. I love conventions, but I also know how I feel after conventions, and I feel like crap. So, and then next weekend, on September 8th, we are going to be in Kansas City, Missouri, at a Taylor Swift concert covering it for tbkradio.com. Yeah.
Curiouser.
Then on
Like, how do you cover a concert, if you don't mind my asking?
what I like to do is I like to interview fans and stuff. If I can't get an interview with the artist, I like to interview fans and be like, so what made you a fan to begin with?
Mm-hmm.
And get like personal stuff like that. And being that I'm going to be taking recording equipment with me and doing audio for this, I'm kind of excited.
Are you going to get to meet Taylor Swift?
I don't know yet.
Ooh.
And then September 14th, we're going to be in St. Louis, Missouri, covering RuPaul's Drag Race Work the World Tour.
I still got to watch that. The last time we did the podcast together, I know you were telling me about it, and I was going to sit down and watch it. I haven't gotten to it yet, but it's on the list. Like,
that'll be a fun show for you and your wife will come in and be like, "What are you watching? RuPaul's Drag Race?"
And then she just silently backs out, and I never see her again.
Or she watches it with you, and you become super fans. Like that's kind of how it usually goes. It's one of the two. And then the next day we're at CMOCon covering a comic convention. The next week we're at what is it? SpaCon in Hot Springs. And then the next weekend is a wrestling show in Cape Girardeau.
Happy
September, everybody.
I do not envy you. It sounds like fun, don't get me wrong.
Oh, it is until you get like a certain point where I go, I don't want to do anything. Because Taylor Swift's actually became my vacation. Because I was like, I'm just going to go. And then the opportunity presented itself to do press. And I went, uh-oh. And we're taking a couple of friends with us that's never been to a like one of our friends has never been to a concert.
Really? Never?
Never. Like, never been to a big concert. Like, you know, but it's a concert at a football stadium. So I said, I feel like she's going to be super overwhelmed. But that's going to be one of the main stories going into that.
The first concert I ever, my brother's first big concert was a Gorillaz concert.
I remember when.
And I thought they were going to come out as like cartoons because like I know that's like the cartoon band they're known as.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how the hell is this going to work? Like, are there just going to be TV screens on stage and the whole concert we're just going to be watching TV? Like, I could have done that from the comfort of my home. But it ended up being like just the full band, like the whoever they are. Like, I know the one dude from Blur. I'm not sure, it's been so long, but that was pretty intense. Like I had been to a couple concerts myself, but seeing them for the first time, like I could, watching my brother's reaction, like his head exploded. Like he had never been to a big concert before, and you could tell like he didn't know what to do. Like how do I act at a concert? Do I just sit here and listen? Do I go ape shit? Like
yeah, no, you really don't know how to do this, and it's just like, oh crap. So guys, we hope you enjoyed this movie today.
I know I sure did.
I think the next one, I'm going to drag Sharon back to CineCrap. I just don't know which movie it's going to be yet.
Oh, man. I got to... I still really, really badly want to do Suicide Squad.
Add that to the list. I'll let you know when it gets up. I'll throw it up for September. We'll do that one in the next month.
That is going to be a movie that you and I are just, we are going to riff.
The only upside to Suicide Squad is Harley Quinn and Will Smith. But outside that, no.
There is so much. Like, I've gotten so many notes and so many little factoids. Like, that is going to be a factoid dream doing that movie. That's all we're going to do is factoids because the production on that film was awful.
So that's going to wrap up this edition of CineCrap. We hope you enjoyed Ready to Rumble as much as we did not. I just. Is there anything you would like to add?
I really, really can't believe that I watched this movie twice in the last 24 hours.
10 years from now, you're going to be like, I want to watch Ready to Rumble.
10 years from now, it'll be my daughter's favorite movie. So
if that happens,
I'll have no choice.
If that happens, I will take you to a steak dinner. I will make that bet.
As long as it better be a bacon wrapped steak.
I don't care where we go. Like, no, you can order whatever you want. We'll just go to a steakhouse. Like, you can have a steak. Because I honestly don't think that'll happen. But if it does,
all jokes aside, though, I really kind of actually in a sick way enjoyed watching it. And I don't know if it was because like when I was watching it the other night, I was like, oh god, I was cringing the whole time. Like I wasn't even necessarily enjoying myself. But watching it with you, technically, quote unquote,
this is the easiest show to record for anybody who does. Yeah, no, it is. For anybody who does not know, there's this show and Are You Still Watching, which is our Netflix binging show, where we binge a show and you can watch with us. And right now we're doing The Office, and I'm like, these are the two easiest shows to record in the history of the podcasting world for me.
Really, even more than live.
Live takes about 4 hours of preparation and then about 3 hours to record a 1 hour show if it's the normal stick, unless it's just like a one-on-one conversation like we did the last episode. Mm-hmm. But if it's me and Sharon and we're coming up with bits and stuff, it's 4 to 8 hours to put together an episode of Live.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
I feel like this would have been harder, like syncing up the movies and
as long as you're within like 2 seconds of each other, it's not that big of a deal. Because when we did Sharknado, I had to do it over the phone, and he was about 3 seconds ahead of me, and I don't know how that happened because we started at the same time.
I was worried my movie was going to delay because, like, towards the end, what we were watching when King and DDP are fighting each other on the triple cage, it started to pixelate real bad. So I'm like,
it did that to me too. But it worked. We made it through.
It did. We did. We were perfectly in sync the whole time, and I had a blast. It really, at the end of the day, long story short, was fun. Like the movie itself kind of does suck, but it worked because now I'm kind of interested in getting back into wrestling a little bit.
So here's what's going on this week, guys. Tomorrow, a very special episode of SNS where we will have Jeff Jarrett on the show talking about TNA, WCW, WWE, his time in Memphis, the NWA, and some other stuff that'll be brought up. We're gonna find out if Jeff Jarrett's a nerd tomorrow. So that should be fun. And then on Wednesday, Ashley learns about Starrcade 83 before we head to Starrcast. There's gonna be an episode of Live go up while we're at Starrcast. It is not. Sharon and I are recording that this week. And that will not have wrestling content. And then all weekend long, on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you will be able to check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/TBK Magazine, our Twitter at TBK Magazine, and our Instagram at TBK Mag. And we're going to have a whole bunch of stuff, cosplay, videos, pictures, you name it, you're going to see it. And we're going to be recording a whole bunch of episodes of SNS to put in the can or might go up that night depending on who's in the interviews. So,
God, I hope you get a shot of someone as a China.
There's a lot of people that I'm like, I've seen a Big Boss Man cosplay already.
Really?
Someone tweeted it and I went, that's pretty good.
Like in the riot gear Boss Man or like the old school
Boss Man, like 90s Boss Man in the blue and the black. Yeah.
Ooh.
It's pretty. I'll tweet it at you. So, guys, that's gonna wrap up this edition of CineCrap. And before the next time you go to the movies, make sure the movie doesn't suck as bad as this one.